There's no denying the importance of video game controller design. I mean, can you imagine if everybody was forced to play next-gen console games with a Nintendo Power Glove? This is why Sony and Microsoft have put so much into their controllers for the PS5 and Xbox Series X. What new features will completely change the way we game? How is Microsoft going to try and steal Sony's thunder? And what the heck is haptic feedback? And will it change gaming forever or become a simple novelty? We have all your answers, and so much more as we break down each new controller in all their glory. The design. Microsoft went with tradition while debuting the Xbox Series X controller. Similar in design to the Xbox One Elite controller, the shape was kept similar due to the muscle memory gamers have built up over the years. Nothing fancy needed here, as Microsoft purposely chose a matte finish for the controller to prevent slipping when a player's hands sweat. Yeah, it's the little things. Meanwhile, Sony has unleashed a whole new controller. The DualShock is no more as the DualSense was announced. The stark white design includes some splashes of black and a larger touchpad area with the glowing light bar built into the sides. Basically, the DualSense looks like what could happen if a Stormtrooper was condensed into a controller form. Naturally, both controllers are wireless and each one is designed to match their own console color schemes. Haptic feedback. While Sony went all out in the visual department, they worked even harder on the interior of the DualSense controller, with a new feature known as haptic feedback. Essentially, the goal is to provide gamers with a completely immersive experience, and haptic feedback is how they'll achieve it. When players use analog sticks, the haptic feedback will recreate those realistic experiences using more advanced and specific technology than rumble motors. You'll feel the difference between driving on pavement, in mud, or cruising through water. If you're injured and limping, the feedback on the controllers will reflect this. You should notice a major difference if you're swinging through the air as Spider-Man or running through the streets as an unmasked Miles Morales. In all, haptic feedback will completely change the way you connect with your characters and get into the games. The new adaptive trigger system will also help. We've spent years slamming down on that R2 button in countless games, but the new adaptive triggers will showcase a more accurate sensitivity when pressed down. Whether you're pressing the gas in a car or throwing Molotov cocktails at your enemies, the adaptive trigger will sense and adjust your movements more accurately. The new buttons. Nothing like some new buttons to play around with on those controllers. While Sony hasn't introduced the hexagon and Xbox didn't add an H, there are some key buttons to learn about. First is the elimination of Sony's Share button. Well, it's actually more of a rebranding into the Create button. The button will quickly give you access to screenshot options, video options, and live streaming connections to services like Twitch. The one-touch button allows you to focus on your game without going into so many submenus. While not all the specifics have been given, there will likely be quick button shortcuts to capture footage. Like the Switch, players could tap for a screenshot and hold the button down to record video. And while Sony removed their Share button, Microsoft added one. Originally, the button was rumored to give instant streaming access on Microsoft's Mixer platform, but Mixer was sold to Facebook, and now the button will be used for more general streaming purposes. So while there were no major button changes, we could definitely see PlayStation and Xbox footage start to compete with so many PC gamers who have been easily streaming their games for years. The D-pad. Ever since the original NES controller was released, the D-pad has become a staple among gamers. Advanced analog sticks provide more fluid movements. But that D-pad is still essential, baby. Sony's stuck with their same unique design. But Microsoft has provided some bigger and better D-pad changes. Referred to as the hybrid D-pad, the design mixes together both interchangeable D-pads from the Xbox One Elite controller into a solid concept design. The biggest difference is the groove in the center of the D-pad, so the whole button doesn't just lay flat, giving your left thumb a lot more comfort. The directional angles are easy to feel with your hands, and the D-pad also supports diagonal directions. In short, building in Minecraft will be a breeze, and you won't have to correct so many errors. Navigating the on-screen keyboard is also a lot easier as you access precise controls. We're all used to a standard D-pad, but the little changes can often make a big difference. Microsoft's controller gets a big thumbs up for reducing the classic D-pad thumb pain. Compatibility. Microsoft doesn't just want you to use their new controller with the Xbox Series X. They want you to use that bad boy everywhere. With a simple Bluetooth connection, you can easily connect the Series X controller to the console, PCs, and other Bluetooth devices like tablets. Bluetooth Low Energy technology allows a controller to have quick connections without major delays, and you can easily switch between devices. Even better is that once you own the Series X controller, you can brag to your friends still rocking that Xbox One and connect the new controller to the older console. Not too shabby. Microsoft is going to end up shipping a whole lot of extra controllers. Basically, you don't even have to own the Series X to take advantage of the new controller features. Sony's compatibility is up in the air right now, so we can only go based on previous history. The PS4 controller could connect to PCs, and with a major expansion in cloud gaming, we imagine the same will apply for the DualSense controller. Without any confirmation, that's just a guess at this point, but Sony would seriously lag behind Microsoft without the compatibility options. The light bar. One of the biggest gimmicks from the PS4 was the light bar, the DualShock 4's flashy new feature. The bar could only be used with Sony's camera at first, but later proved to be an essential element for the Sony VR headset and is one of the core reasons the light bar has returned. The light bar presence is a little more subdued this time around and tucked under the touchscreen, but Sony only plans to expand their venture into the worlds of VR. The light bar will help with movements and controls in the current PSVR setup, and all signs point to a PSVR upgrade in the future. A better quality screen, updated games, and more interactive options will make the light bar upgrade essential. So it's not just a flashy light to brag to your friends about. The light bar is going to prove to be a lot more than just a gimmick. This also means we'll see a release of the new PS5 camera, which Sony has already teased as part of the Day 1 console launch. With the color scheme and light bar, Sony is definitely trying to win points in the looks department, especially when compared with the subdued Xbox Series X controller. Smaller hands. Finally, a gaming company who caters to those of us with teeny tiny gaming hands. Sure, Microsoft betrayed the small hand gaming nation with the release of the Duke way back with the first Xbox, but they've been slowly making amends ever since. And no, we're not getting a Joy-Con-sized controller, but the Xbox Series X controller has definitely slimmed down. The contoured grip has made it easier for smaller hands to play comfortably. Some of the biggest changes are noted near the triggers, so it will be much easier to multitask and press buttons quickly. Of course, the main focus on the design was creating a controller for the younger generation. More and more young gamers are playing games on the regular, and they need a comfortable controller to get the job done. Along with the reshape of the controller, the triggers all feature a tactile dot grip design, which makes it easier to tell where and what trigger you've actually grasped onto. This means more time staring at those screens instead of looking down in order to memorize buttons. The 5-year-old in your life will be extremely excited. Microphones. Microsoft may walk the walk with their controller shape, but Sony plans to talk the talk with their new built-in microphone feature. The constant ache of wearing a headset can get old pretty quick, and the microphone feature could be a game changer for players looking for quick conversation. Gamers have access to a quick toggle button underneath the PlayStation logo to quickly turn the microphone on and off. Along with the mic is a built-in speaker which is said to have more features and a far better range than the PS4. The speaker will work the haptic feed system as well as provide direct communication so voices come out of the controller instead of the TV. Of course, 2 weeks after the release of the PS5, we'll probably hear stories and rumors about the microphone recording everything and spying on us, but that's a story for another day. Let's just rejoice that we don't have to constantly wear a headset and deal with so much ear sweat. Accessories. After you've purchased an extra controller for multiplayer games, get ready for the next-gen accessory train to come a-rolling in. For Xbox Series X owners, you may want to buy some stock in Energizer batteries. Despite built-in batteries becoming the norm, the newest controller is still powered on AA's. So you'll either be constantly swapping out your batteries or purchasing a battery pack so you can charge up the controller all by yourself. Along with the battery pack, look to pick up an official headset to use with the controller. Sony's DualSense relies on a USB-C charging cable, but you'll definitely want to pick up the easy docking station to place extra controllers, and to keep them charged when you're not playing. And instead of wasting battery life while you stream TV shows or movies, consider the PS5 wireless remote. The quick access remote is ideal for everything besides gaming, including the built-in Blu-ray player on the console. And you may want to stock up on some of those 4K Ultra Blu-rays because those discs will be compatible with the console and provide you with high-quality movie options besides streaming. The colors. Everything about the PS5 and Xbox Series X seems black and white, right? Wrong. Microsoft may be pulling a trick from under their sleeve as they gear up to announce the more affordable Xbox Lockhart edition of the console. While Sony's base console is mainly white and Microsoft is black, the Lockhart is rumored to be a white edition of the Series X. We pretty much had confirmation from a recent Reddit post as well. Reddit user Wolfie_Wizardo showcased a picture of a white Series X controller that was supposedly taken at the house of a Microsoft employee whose son got to test out the brandy new system. The Reddit account is now deleted, but many believe the picture and post were completely true. The all-white Xbox controller has the same designs as the black one, and could be the very first glimpse into the Lockhart edition of the console, which has not been announced as of yet. The white base of the controller would definitely take some glory away from the DualSense, and the controller would not stand out as much, especially when sitting side by side on store shelves. So, what do you think? Which console has the better controller? Will the haptic feedback completely change gaming forever? Did Sony get too daring with their white and black controller combo? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to The Gamer for more great content.